Hi, so my name is Sholly Levey. I grew up in London, went through the Lubavitch system, yeshiva, shlichus, smicha, 770, and then got married, moved into the neighborhood, and life started. So my wife was pregnant with our first child, and it's a beautiful time. Everybody's excited, but now reality begins to set in. You're now the breadwinner. And breadwinner means you're responsible for yourself as well as your wife, your child. So you start getting a little serious about life and thinking, okay, where now? So I was in Koilo, my wife was in Beis Rivka. Rent was relatively low, but things were starting to get tight and it was time to get a real job. So I'd heard from a friend about a store out in Williamsburg that was looking for an employee. So I got the job, and thank God it went well. And within a few years, they moved me up to manager, and I ended up actually staying there for 12 years. So my job was only bringing in a certain amount, and I had the idea to maybe start doing something myself on the side. So I started a small wholesale business where I sold glasses to other stores, and slowly but surely it started to pick up. So now I was doing a full day's work, as well as any extra hour that I had was focusing on my own business. This, of course, added to my anxiety because I didn't really have much family life. I was busy working all the time. About 10 years ago, I was faced with a very difficult challenge, and I was not sure of how to go about it. A brother-in-law of mine suggested that maybe to take on learning some chassidus in the morning, and this would maybe help settle me a little bit. And I'm thinking, I don't have time. I'm busy with my business. I'm busy with my work. I literally don't have time to spend with my family, never mind to sit and learn. But he offered to come and learn with me every day. And we started. And it was fantastic. We learned Samach Vav, and I think we did this for a couple of years. Every day learning an hour before Shachris. And this led to other things. I started learning with a minyan properly every day. I started going to mikveh every day. These were things that I had done prior to being married, but kind of fizzled out as life took its course. As time went by, my chavrusas changed, but the chassidus stayed, and it became a part of my day. And every day I would put in a solid hour in the morning, and it really brought a lot of tranquility to my day. It calmed me down. Chassidus has a lot of answers to day-to-day problems. And it brought a lot more Yiddishkeit, Chassidishkeit to my family as a whole. I remember learning in Derech Mitzvah. So I actually ended up finishing the whole Sefer, which was a great challenge for me. And one of the things I remember learning there was how the Tzemach Tzedek explains how you have to make a keli. You make a keli, and the Eibishter will take care of you. So you go out there, get a job, open a business, whatever it is. Try to put the anxiety aside and try to just focus on what you need to do, and things will just fall into place. And it got a lot easier. I took that to heart, and it really worked. So much so that my wife started to go to more shiurim, and today my wife is giving shiurim of her own. She is inspiring young women in the community. She has a weekly shiur, and this has had an effect on my children as well. Learning chitas, having farbrengens in the house. This has absolutely transformed our family as a whole. So I was recently reading in Igros, the Rebbe writes to an individual who's feeling very down about the fact that he hasn't got any Torah in his life, and he just can't get to do it. And the Rebbe says something very simple. Start with 15 minutes. 15 minutes every day, but be consistent about it. Every single day, do that 15 minutes. It will become a day, it will become a part of your day. And it will become an important part of your day. And then you can grow on that. And then you can go to half an hour or an hour or whatever it is that works for you. Do a little in the morning, do a little in the evening, but it will add so much to your life. So much tranquility, so much enjoyment, so much excitement that you will now feel a living life, not just a day of a grueling job, business, what am I doing with my life, what is my direction, where am I going, but this just adds so much to your life. When I first started, I must have been about 10 years out of yeshiva. So how often did I pick up a sefer? And the level of learning wasn't very high. But as my chavrusos worked with me, it got better and better. And today, it's just on a much, much higher level than it ever was. More recently, I joined a shul. And what's great about this is that up until now, I felt kind of alone. So I had a chavrusa who was keeping me accountable. So every day I was learning consistently, but I kind of felt like it was just me and him. Now I found a place where there was a whole chabura. It was a bunch of guys who were interested in getting up in the morning and starting the day on the right foot. And a community is everybody taking care of everybody. And everybody seeing their own needs met, but at the same time helping others with the needs that they need. So it's not about just taking, it's about giving. And when you give, you feel a lot better than when you take. So being a community is a tremendous place. Coming from a small community back in London where everybody knew each other. And somebody had a baby, there was a meal train. There was a death in the family, there was always somebody to make sure that things, somebody helped out. People were always there for each other. And sometimes in a larger community, that's hard to find. And what I've found lately in Crown Heights over the last few years, that small communities all over the place are popping up, and people are realizing having a close-knit crowd is really, really something to be appreciated and something to be part of. It's just a space for people to feel a sense of belonging. Life is not easy. You get married, you have children. Every person has challenges, each in their own way. We sometimes look at people and think, oh, everything's rosy. Lav dafka. Everybody's got their peckle, everybody's got their package. And being part of a community relieves that pressure. You've got your work, you've got your children. You need a place to unload. You need friends to be in their environment, just to chill and to let things go. You want to be by Fabrengen and do it in a frum and an enjoyable way. The outlet is extremely, extremely important for everyone's mental health and wellness of being. Both you, your wife, and your children.